Yep,
at the end
but
of the season?
the scheduling considerations have to be given. You have to think about your region schedules. You got north, you got south, you got private A schools, you got public A schools. They have to have a year to semantically work through that. You got to deal with the Tony's Peccadillos at Buford and on and on and on, because each of them have their own agendas and they have to have time to politic that and build a consensus to make it work. So I think 17 would probably be the initial launch year. And I think probably 16 has got to be best served to help work it and sell it to the high school community as well as the high school administrations. But I would love to see that piece of it come together. I know you have a number of issues that you need to talk about tonight, so I don't want to loiter on that. You got to talk about your governance, how you're going to deal with things moving forward from your other meetings. But I did just want to say thanks for causing this to happen, because I think it's a necessary evil in order to bring these two groups together, because they can and they need to coexist.
Appreciate it. I think it's pretty evident that as far as naming a board or anything tonight, we don't have the turnout for that. I don't feel like we got a good turnout of people. I really appreciate everybody that's shown up. I hope you go back and talk up what we've decided here. If you think this has value, talk up the value of having an association like this. We've got these people that came down, they have no other agenda other than to come down here and educate us. And I truly appreciate, most of them came from their end of town. This is what I usually do. I usually go from here to their end of town to have to do things. Well, they've all come down here to benefit us and to give us their opinion. I really want to appreciate the high school people. I've been very critical of high school softball over the years. I have had nothing good to say about high school softball. It's very true. Lisa was not a big fan of mine until we got to talk to each other, realize we're humans. All right, I'm not just fresh. I'm Scott Lowry too, and I understand from my daughter's playing years. But this is the kind of conversation we need to do. But we need more participation. I need a recommendation for a date to hold a follow-up meeting if you feel like it's something that we want to pursue. And we put this thing together. Is it January? Is it February? What is the time that we need, the time frame to really get representative people out here to do it? What do you think from a high school perspective?
Well, the Georgia Dugout Club holds a clinic every January where we bring in speakers, college coaches. Coach Kincaid has spoke a couple times, and Coach Downs. From within the state of Georgia, without the state, we brought in Georgia Impact and the Vipers, and kind of opened up the floor last year with the high school coaches, because that's the time of year where you're going to get the most high school coaches in one room together. I think Ernie comes and speaks every year, and he does a rules clinic for us. So I think, and it's open for you guys to attend as well. So I think maybe we could set aside a time and hold another meeting to, vote in officers, and I think you would get a really good turnout of high school coaches at that time. If travel ball, it's in January. I'll have to look at my calendar to the exact date, but it would be a platform for us to start.
We do have a
I also think though that you almost, with NFCA being here in Atlanta, you need to do something before that.
Yeah, I'd like to read a letter from, I called Carol Bruggeman with NFCA, and Scott turned me on to her. He had talked to her prior to me calling. She says, "Congratulations on your drive and passion in creating the new Georgia Fast Pitch Association. The most impressive thing about your new association is that high school coaches and travel ball coaches and joining hands and working together to grow the game. Softball within the state of Georgia has been on the rise for many years, and this association will continue to elevate your state to new heights. The National Fast Pitch Coaches Association supports you in your efforts. If you have not done so already, I invite you to join Sales Pitch, where you will find everything you need regarding softball. We have special sections specifically designed for high school and travel ball coaches. If you've never been to the NFCA Travel Ball Caucus, that is an event worth going to. We've got it in Atlanta this year. There's no travel involved. You need $70 to join the NFCA. You can go to the convention and take part in the Travel Caucus. Speak up. I jumped on Rhoda Gandra and Dan Hay in the same room in one meeting. It was amazing. It was awesome. And I was able to get them at one point when PGF and ASA when PGF was in its infant stages, and hold their hand to the fire and tell them, this is what you're telling us you're giving us, but we're paying two insurances. You're fighting each other. I hold ASA to a higher standard, because they're the governing body for softball. Somebody has got to let them know that holding competing tournaments and trying to draw teams away from another national is not in the best interest of the players, which is what we've got to do. We've got to be the best interest of the players. So this NFCA opportunity is here. I would love to have something in place. I just don't know if this is, can we put together a representative board of some sort between now and September, the end of September?
I think one of the things you need to look at with high school ball going on right now is a Sunday evening versus a weekday.
Would anybody object to a Sunday evening follow-up? Does anybody feel like this is pointless? That we're just beating our heads against the wall? Would we come back and with the addition of some additional people really give some thought to a nominating process? Let me know what you think. I know all of you got the email. Did you read the email about how I wanted to structure the board? Are the numbers off? Having two travel, 2 high school, 2 at large, an umpire and a tournament association director. Is that a good representative group to run a board and have them select the president?
I think you're leaving out another group, and it's the group that he represents, which is your rec associations, because that's your largest enrollment of ASA, UTREP, USFA in the country. So you may want to hold out a spot for them.
That sounds fine. I want something that's representative. I want something that'll go forward. I think I told some of you, we did this 10, 12 years ago, and it died on the vine because we didn't put any structure together to promote it. Everybody said, yeah, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'm going to help, I'll help. And we never heard from anybody again. If you feel like there's value in this, would you like to set a date for a follow-up before the NFCA, or do we want to wait till January or February?
What's the date of the NFCA?
NFCA is in November. What's the date? Well, you know? Last weekend in November.
First week in December.
I would really like to have something to show them by that time, and something to present to them, and I think they'll use it as a model.
Why don't you look at the calendar and see what the travel ball office is at the NFCA and coordinate a meeting either before or after it. Because the NFCA's, there's $70 to join, but it's also $200 to get in the caucus meeting, unless you're going to buy a single class admission. So it would be good to put that information out ahead of time so people can not only plan for time, but also plan for money. Because if there's 163 softball organizations in the state of Georgia, and this is your attendance tonight, which is troublesome because of the apathy towards the governance of the game. Because this just shows you that this is about the B game right now. So I think you got to do as good a job as you can to help get as much information out to discredit whatever negative publicity is going on against us.
I agree with Will. I think it should be something prior to that. One that will also motivate people to go to that. Because Will has gone to the extreme of, he is actually setting up a presence for Georgia softball there. He's got a number of the travel programs involved. I know he'd like to have more, but he's actually doing something to show people, hey, you know, we're doing something good here. And so I think if you think about it, in November, early November, that's not a good time because you got showcases. I think you need to do it sometime in October, on a Sunday evening, sometime in October. That
Later September.
Yeah, either or that.
September 27th.
October, some of the travel days will start practicing.
Can anybody pull, you got the calendar up?
27th.
What do you feel about September the 27th? And we have a follow-up meeting, trying to elect officers, try to put a board in place. I have this facility available at any time I want to use it. You find a better place, I'm willing to move wherever. It doesn't have to be here. I just had this, it was free. So that was in my budget.
Well, if you're planning on having 2 or 3 meetings, you may want to do something in North Atlanta, something here around the airport, and something down south. Because you want to be able to put it in fairly close proximity to the general softball population and not just force everybody to come here.
How do we do that? How do we segregate it like that and still have a common vote? I don't know how we're going to vote.
Everybody comes, and it's all about physical opinion. Because when the guys come from Gwinnett County, that's an hour 45 here for 7 o'clock meeting.
How do we link those?
We can make it 7:30, a little bit after the workshop.
A little bit after, maybe after the crush. But I think probably you want to go ahead and have your governance in place at your next meeting. I don't think you want to wait until then. You may want to put your bylaws together, come up with who your voting board is going to be, and then see if you can't. You may want to soft poll it out there on the message board to solicit response versus who's the best team in the Carrollton Classic continue. That is important.
It is in Carrollton.
Scott, Lisa and I were just chatting here. To get the most high school coach participation, you're talking about a time when they're getting ready to line up for the region tournaments.
The 27th.
At the end of September, early October. My thought is if you could push it another week, maybe 2, and get it to where you're into first and second round of high school playoffs. They're only playing on Wednesdays and Thursdays now. That opens up a lot, and a lot of schools are going to be done by then, so you may get more coach participation.
One week back is my open term. October 11th. It's September 11th. That's better. October 11th.
How do you guys feel about it? Seriously.
First chance of playing travel ball in the fall is going to be October.
Right.
We're going to start now.
So anything in September you're open to?
Well, here's the deal, I know you got high school in it, but you also, we want to get the younger ages involved. A lot of them are already playing.
Yeah.
Earlier you are in September, that's how you gonna get the younger.
I think the young groups are key. I think the young coaches, I mean, we could say what we like about daddy ball. Without daddy ball, we got no softball.
So that's the reason why earlier in September would be better, because those teams will be more active earlier in the fall. So if you want to fall, that's like you had them fall.
Okay, what kind of a date are we looking at then? Huh? From high school? 11th?
I mean, I say that, like, I came tonight because I care about the game. And so if a high school coach is out there listening on YouTube, then, you know, I think they're going to come on the 27th or they're going to come on the 11th. Because if, you know, I know it was harder for them to come tonight on Monday. I had to leave practice to come, right? But on a Sunday, we're not practicing, they could come. So if they care, they're going to come, whether it's the 27th or the 11th, because we don't have practice on that day. I understand a lot of them not leaving to come tonight.
The 13th is a Sunday.
13th.
No, of October?
Oh, is that what, September?
No, September 27th or October 11th is what they're saying, right?
I think so.
The NFCA convention is December 2nd through 5th.
Right, well, we looked at November with all the showcases, was gonna be a problem, right?
Weekends are going to be a problem.
Pardon?
I think that if you do,
Can't do November at all, so we gotta move back to October.
I think if you do October 11th, anybody who hasn't made playoffs in high school, obviously, but like she said, if they're going to come, they're going to come.
I mean,
Available.
the 27th is the weekend before our last week of the season. But then if you go back a week, then you start getting into postseason. I don't want to be bothered during postseason.
The 27th or the 11th, you're saying probably the best date. Is there a preference on, are those two dates, other than the younger groups, you're saying like a Sunday night? I mean, there's going to be very few teams left playing, right?
27th, all in between.
Right, I mean, we don't want paralysis by analysis, I know, but we do want a date that works. 27th?
We're back and forth between the 27th and 11th, why not the 4th?
what's wrong with this one? Is the 20th any better for high school than the 27th?
27th is fine. Well, we have a break that week.
Oh, is that a break? Okay.
27th is the break.
Makes sense.
27th is the break.
So Scotty, 27th for your vote on your board?
He's saying 27th is a break.
No, the 20th is a break.
The 20th is a break, so the 27th
The
is
last
open.
week of September is the fall break.
27th.
Yeah.
I like 27th. It's a good
Scott?
number.
For what county?
Yeah, the week of the 27th, that whole week is when it's the fall break.
See, somebody else's fall.
The fall
Somebody
break.
else's fall break.
So that's,
Yeah.
20th is ours. That's why I
Oh,
didn't
the
say
week before. Okay. So why not October 4th?
October, then we go to,
Then we go to
October the
11th.
11th?
Then we go to 11th, yeah.
all right, what about October the 11th? Is that any different than the 27th? I mean, for travel? We never do anything during high school with our older teams. So we don't, so that doesn't, but I don't know about the younger teams. I know they're still playing some tournaments.
Middle school teams will be playing, and that's it.
All right, so Sunday evening, I'm sure that their games are over by 4 or 5, and that's only a few teams be involved at the final. So, all right, we're looking at October the 11th. I need you guys to talk it up. All right, we need to get on the board. I need to know how to reach the high school people. All right, it's integral. We need some stuff came out tonight, more than I really thought was going to come up. I think we can change a lot of minds, and it's got to be for the girls. They say that we all say we're doing it for the girls, but sometimes I don't think people really know what's good for the girls. Maybe they're trying to do the wrong thing. But I think this is the right thing to do. So how would we work? All right, as far as electing a board, do we need to take nominations up to that point, and then work from there?
You present your nominations at that meeting, you call for a vote.
All right, I think that's probably, rather than trying to nominate from the meeting, we'll nominate prior to the meeting.
Why don't you name a nominating committee so that you're not trying to do it all yourself?
Yeah, because that could get a bottleneck.
Appoint 2 or 3 people to be a nominating committee. And let them solicit names, provide a slate.
Sounds like a good idea. I will take someone who volunteers to be part of the nominating committee. Volunteers? Hello? Earth to coaches.
What are you looking at them doing?
Pardon?
What are they doing?
Working together to kind of keep the nomination process in force. I mean, accepting some of the emails, talking it up, helping with, I mean, it's just a lot too, keeping up with the emails and stuff. You get access to the email account that I have. I set it up under a Gmail account so that anyone can have access that has the password.
We can't be a part of that because it's going to be perceived as being skewed, so.
Exactly.
Kind of stuff. It needs to be an independent club or a team, somebody that doesn't have any direct influence or bias one way or the other, that can be honest and have some integrity with the process.
I agree. Do you want to?
Jose would make a good one.
Was that a yes? That is a yes? All right. Yeah, he seconded and nominated and voted on and elected. Do you have someone to help you, or would you like for other nominations from this group?
I think Shelby's going to help you.
Shelby's going to help you? Huh? All right, I will forward you the information that I have, and I will work with you. I mean, I'll work with you too. We just, we're trying to keep this.
Holy, time ran out.
What time is it? Just 9 o'clock. I think that's a hint. Yeah, do you? All right, it'll take a while for these lights to come back on. Look, I appreciate the attendance. We will get out some emails on putting together a nominating committee. I need a volunteer for secretary. I know that is going to be an awful position to fill. So if you know someone who might want to fill those shoes, who's crazy, I would appreciate it. Because I know it's not something anybody wants to do. Just what little I've done with this drives me crazy. Okay? So be thinking of that. If you know of anybody, talk it up on the boards, talk it up among your friends. Let me know what to do with high school as far as getting the word out. Y'all do your within the dugout. My name on the other board is just a pariah. I cannot go on that other board because they know that I have been very bad in the past. Y'all can get on that board. And the high school board is I don't know.
Is there even a high school board? Or is that a high school board?
They're the GFCA. What's that other board?
I don't think it ever died.
Oh, high school
I
band.
don't
The
know.
high school band. Oh, yeah. the
Yeah,
high school
it
band.
was
'Cause I
supposed to
get-
die, but I don't think it
I
died.
don't think anybody does anything with it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't touch that one.
Well, I see a lot
The
of
only thing
posts.
you see
There's
on
a
there
lot
is
of
people
posts.
want.
I don't go on any events anymore,
But I don't know
man.
how
I
you
ain't got
get
time. The dugout club. The dugout
Yeah,
club.
we have a,
Did I hit the nail on the head? You picked the one day.
yeah, but I really think it's about timing for the high school
Okay.
right now.
All right, so we're going to go.
If it went out in the summer, maybe they weren't up on checking their emails as much as they are now. You know what I mean? Because in the summer we don't.
Mike don't.
September deal, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, man. Let's talk it up. I'd like to have something in place.
When did that start? First of December?
First of December. Yeah, and like you said, back in the 70s, we would take clinicians everywhere. You got all the coaches go up and do hitting and pitching, and you've got all of your shunts and Zuno, and everybody's got boards. There is a Will has got the sports council has a booth set up for the state of
I don't know if you
that'll be a nice place to hang out. Let's talk it up and try to.
Yeah, I hope we get this going. I mean, it'd be great. I thought we'd be a lot more people here.
I did too.
Having a lot of, unfortunately, the weather has
The weather, the timing, I think.
Thanks, Dave. All right, good to see you, man.
But let's, I think we're talking about. I think
Everybody has their opinions, but
YouTube
you're welcome.
video came out where you can understand all the, the conversation. I'll go ahead and get that thing running. Everybody can look at it. I had a couple eye opening things come up. Their perspective is a little different than I always hear.
But see, that's too late. You're not getting this forward, but they're in Metro Atlanta. There's such thing as you got to see the guys from outside. Those are the ones that, like the one I was telling you about, they locked all the kids' equipment up during travel. We've had that. After high school, they locked their equipment up. Yeah.
My problem with that is, I bought the damn thing. You can't tell me what I can do with my gloves.
Right. Well, he had a hard time locking my
That wouldn't happen. He doesn't do that with us. The plan I have with ours is there's no workout. They get out there and they do their little bit of conditioning. There's no workout program. No strength and conditioning.
I don't understand how to watch this. Because all that is to keep it practice. It's really nothing physical what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. But it goes back to during the week, during our back tournament. The girls, that's all we can eat. Yeah, sure. They want to. It's a good seeing them. Take care. But I know we're to be honest with you. If ASA was going to be here, they'd stay here. Right. But you know what? I'm tired of putting pockets those guys out west because originally when they first set this up, they said it was going to be a rotating base. We're in year 6. And eventually the East Coast teams and the West and the Midwest teams are going to decide which benefits are the best. And they've lost teams this year. The first year they lost teams in the BTS. They're going to have to change. If they don't, the numbers were the same, but some of the big clubs didn't go. Like the Bulls didn't go, the Gold Coast didn't go. And so they had to use different things. Large bursts. It shows you the ball. So they're just making some issues out there that they're not. And they don't have any East Coast representation on their base. And that's another problem. Maybe we do something out here. Talking, doing something out here. With our, anything east of Mississippi, we could draw Midwest teams here to Atlanta or wherever. I mean, are they considered Triple SA in New York? No, it's TCS. TCS, right? No. Check the friggin'. I mean, it costs you. Well, it's $2 grand. Oh, yeah. And I don't think it's the best. Well, they advertise that Dr. City and some other big leagues will be there. So maybe softball. I don't mind it unless the group is from there. True clinics. And then it's going to be lower for the insurance and there's some other things you want to do it. I'd like to have someone like Sheldon doing it. That's something that they've done now.
male who's pitch pitching. He's never
Ready to stand in front of the bar when they looked it up on the wall.
That's why it's what drew me to TCS. That's as ball players. It's been through what our girls have done. Wherever we
It's always there to say, we don't maybe not advertise it. If you guys wanted to observe Tim Walton doing his thing, because we're trying to advance. We're considering their pitching. So you got some problems. Stop that.
They don't have spares. They have good. Yes, and then they have a little. I mean, nobody thinks about it. If you're sick of it,
You got a kid on 65. Perfect. They can put it in the right spot. Remember that.
How far are you in the
Been there a couple times. It's a good thing to just meet.
I'd ask Scott. I mentioned you, since you emailed me about the GFCA. How realistic is it? It's great sometimes to continue partnerships with them to have clinics and have. There's a lot of coaches at the younger ages who absolutely have no idea. But you're right. If there wasn't daddy ball at that age, it's softball. So how do we get the teachings? Maybe with these guys or someone else to teach these guys. Because a lot of it, unfortunately, is the parents control what the coach does.
Exactly.
And that's got to change.
Absolutely. Now, so you got to know what your parameters are. What are the parameters of your parents? What should you allow those parents to do? Because they're starting to rule the game. And that's what we got one we were talking about today, a pitcher.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say during the meeting. It's the pitcher, not the kid. The kid would love to be able to take off. I'm saying, no, we need to do this.
They're not starting games and they're crying in the dugout. They're like, it's my turn. Well, Nationals, it's nobody's turn so often. I mean, somehow that's got to be conveyed because they're obviously not getting up to that point. Up to the point that they're not getting it. Big program. Pyramid built into one or two elite teams and allow kids to be pulled from their teams and put some professional coaches in place. Because what's happening is even though they got the same name, basically 15 teams just wearing the same clothes. They don't work together. You know, have meetings. Do some work out, maybe a pre-season or something. But in the long run, there's not drawing players to this elite group that you should be aspiring to get into. It's all separate. And they're all separate entities. I think something's got to be done about that. Until the culture changes, and until we convince the parents differently, we're not going to get anywhere with them. They're crazy. They're fucking crazy.
What do we have to do?
Nothing. I mean,
You gotta have your paperwork here.
yeah, let me have that. I'll put all that on my right here. But anyway, I know,
Sure. I mean, I'm willing to help out if the guy needs help doing
Jose, just talk it up, you know? We'll do October the 11th. All right, October the 11th. Make sure you're there, and everybody you know knows about it. So just put a little pressure on people to get out here and get it done. So everybody wants to sit around and wait for somebody else to do it. Exactly. And I was disappointed in the turnout, but it was not an extra. It did not.
I thought there would be more than this.
I did too. Well, actually, the emails I've been getting.
Yeah. Well, and I showed him that list of emails.
Yeah.
Plus the number of reads that you got on the coach's corner. I definitely thought there'd be a lot more.
The problem is everybody wants someone else to see it.
They want to talk about it. They want to sit on the computer and complain about it on the coach's corner, but they want to do it.
Jabber is too cheap.
It is, man. It is.
It's easy to talk a good game, but when you actually have to sit down and do it,
Thanks for putting all together, get the ball over.
hopefully the 11th, because maybe that time is better on Sunday night. I don't know.
That's nice.
I'll help whatever he needs.
And they're still going to sneak into it.
Appreciate your comments. Steve, thanks a lot, man. You're welcome. I know you probably got something else to do. You got like a month.
We're talking about you run those great teams.
November showcase. Their fault. Blame them. Lisa's gone. She's more like a league grad.
You're good about that. You know, turn you down. She said, I've got you in the team. I'm getting the chance. There's a lot of guys in the middle.
I told them, I said, Lisa's gone.
Because if we don't do it, he will talk about for 5,000 hours.
You want to play at night, you pay for lunch. Where did you put that? 15 years ago now, it's 150 a field. No, I'm talking the whole fee was right. They go against that wall, Rich. You don't have to do that.
I live here. I'm like 10 minutes from here.
Roger says is he really?
He's down at McDonald's. We're taking that over. Yeah, right.
The help guys like you. There's a lot of people just look at it, you know, just how close is it?
Red balls. It was definitely a different world, wasn't it, Rick?
Yeah, back then.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
It was better. It was better, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was less teams.
Can't believe you didn't throw that out there. That's all. I felt like that was just teed up perfectly.
It was.
Well, they never got to deal with Gary Carter. That's oh boy, that's classic. For did
His son. You know, son, you know,
very hard to destroy.
so you'll love this. Charles Miller.
Wow.
Charles Miller has assembled a mid-major team. Cecil White, Scott Creighton, Charlie Brown. They're playing at a high, it's 50 and over. He called me and said, "You and Rob want to come play?" I said, "No." Oh, they got a whole league. They got a whole league. There's 16.
Like I said,
They
they're going to play one game.
I can't play with a bunch of children.
I said, "Who's running?" He said, "Who runs?" He said, "You don't have to run." I said, "Who plays in the field?" He goes, "Well, we got guys. Well, you have one guy under 40. One guy." Huh? He told me you could hit a ball. That's all we did.
Back in the day, brother. Let me tell you something.
Just hit them out there and watch them go.
You a Hulkamania?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Oh.
That's all I was about was hitting. You could hit, you could just walk around. You can walk back to the dugout, right?
They don't even run the bases, do they? When you hit it out, you just stand there and go to the dugout, right?
Get it up there.
Hey, one of my
No, I found yours in the dugout yesterday at trial. My dugout, I cleaned out, had 3 cigarette butts and 2 beer cans.
Yeah, that's from the men's game the night before.
The men's game.
Hey, one of my claim to fame is we played on a team that was sponsored by Walter, and in order for him to sponsor us, we had to play coach with his wife's friend.